Hello, my name is Dr. Scott Graves, and thank you so much for being here. I wanted to first start out by giving a little bit of information about who I am and what I do. So, my name is Dr. Scott Graves, and I am a licensed and board certified acupuncture physician in the state of Florida. I've been practicing medicine for about 11 years now, and it has been the most rewarding thing of my entire life, helping people to heal from all kinds of health problems. And I also have a degree, a master's degree in counseling, psychology, and theology. And so I use that every day in the clinic as well with my patients. And the idea for this book was very interesting. One day I was kind of in a meditative state. This was probably about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. I can't remember now. And one day the thought just popped in, you need to write a book. That thought was absolutely terrifying to me. I thought, where in the world is this coming from? I was the guy in college who despised writing papers. They were so difficult for me to write. I mean, I really had a very, very hard time. And this thought just was very surprising to me. But it felt like a download from the universe. And I said to myself, okay, let's see where this goes. So, because I had written many papers in college. I mean, I wrote in my grad school, undergraduate, and all that stuff. And like I said, they were very difficult for me. But when it came to writing a book, I had no clue how to write a book. And so the funny thing is I actually Googled, how do I write a book? I know it sounds super cheesy, but that's exactly what I did. And I found this book that said, the title of this book was How to Write a Book in 14 Days. And I thought, gosh, that's a really cheesy title. But I downloaded the book and read it, and it was actually really good. And there was some great exercises in there, and one of them was outlining the book. And as soon as I outlined this book, I said, wow, there's 200 pages of material there for sure. And you can see if you buy the paperback version of this book, it's 290 pages. And in hindsight, especially after having written the book years ago and now reading it and putting it out on YouTube, I would definitely cut things out and I would probably add and change other things, but it is what it is at this particular point. So writing this book was blood, sweat, and tears for me. It took me about 5 or 6 years to write. I would write in spurts, maybe 20 or 30 pages, and then go through what I'm sure all human beings do when they're creating something and saying, this isn't good enough and nobody's going to read it. And it was actually just a personal challenge. I just wanted to write a book and say that I had written a book. I don't know many people in my world that have written a book before. And so I just wanted to do it and share my life story because I have a very important story to share about how I was depressed for 11 long years and then have come out of that and now live very happily and definitely not depressed anymore. So this was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of crying, a lot of working through emotions that came up while I was writing the book. I also decided just to self-publish the book because it was just a project I just wanted to work on, put out in the world, and I didn't have any intentions of really doing anything other than that and making it beneficial for people and giving it to my patients in the clinic. And so what you're going to see in this video is, these videos, is an unedited reading of all of the chapters of my book. I make a few mistakes here and there, and you will definitely see that while I'm doing this, but that's the unedited nature of it. And so I wanted to put this out on YouTube now simply because I just wanted to make it more available to people in the world. I think it has a lot of great content. I've had a lot of great feedback from my patients and also from other people that have read it and said it was very good. So I just wanted to make it available for more people. Also, I don't think anybody should ever have to suffer from depression, anxiety ever again. There are so many tools out there to help you to heal. It is the problems or the root causes of depression are very well known. And in a lot of cases, especially the physical causes of depression, they're very easy to heal. Now, the emotional ones, those are a little bit more difficult, but even those can be dug into and dealt with very quickly and swiftly. At least that's what I found in clinical experience. So I've helped hundreds of people in the clinic heal from depression and anxiety over the last 11 years. And just wanted to lastly share that if you are watching this and you are somewhere else in the world, I would be happy to work with you over the phone, through Zoom, through Skype, whatever, to do coaching sessions and whatnot, and to share my wisdom with you about how to heal from depression and anxiety. So if that interests you, you can find links below in the description for my calendar. I offer a free 15-minute phone consultation just to see if we're a good fit for each other, and then we can set something up. But anyways, I am honored that you are here. Thank you so much for being here, and I really do hope that you enjoy the reading of my book, Letting Go of Depression. Letting Go of Depression by Dr. Scott Graves, acupuncture physician. Copyright 2021, cover designed by Suman Chakraborty, edited by Richard Gretzky. All rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced by any mechanical, photographic, or electronic process in the form of a phonographic recording, nor may it be stored in a retrieval system, transmitted, or otherwise copied for public or private use, other than for fair use, has brief quotations embodied in articles and reviews, without prior written permission of the author, publisher. This book is nonfiction. Nonetheless, the names, personal characteristics of individuals, and details of events have been changed in order to disguise identities or protect the privacy of the author's patients. Any resulting resemblance to a living person or dead is entirely coincidental and unintentional. This book is not intended to be considered legal, medical, or any other professional advice. The author of this book does not dispense medical advice or prescribe the use of any technique, either directly or indirectly, as a form of treatment for physical, emotional, or medical problems without the advice of a physician. Nothing in this book is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The author's intent is only to offer information of a general and educational nature to help you in your quest for emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. In the event you use any of the information in this book, the author assumes no responsibility for your actions. For more information about permission to reproduce selections from this book, please contact www.drscottgraves.com. Acknowledgements. Mom and Dad, without you, I wouldn't be the man I am today, and would not have had the privilege of being able to help others on the path of healing and freedom. You are the embodiment of love and selflessness as human beings, and for that, I am eternally grateful. My heartfelt gratitude goes out to Richard Gretzky for being kind, inquisitive, thoughtful, detailed, and critical in the editing of this book. Thank you for your hard work and for the friendship shared along the way. To all my patients, friends, and family, I have learned so much about how to be a great physician and person because of your giving, love, and patience. You inspire me and have taught me well how to help guide others to heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I thank you with all of my heart. Introduction. In 2001, I went through an experience that sent me spiraling into a dark depression for 11 long, painful years. I felt so powerless to do anything about it. As time went on, ending my life seemed like the only realistic option to stop the emotional pain. After this experience, I searched and searched for answers to feel better. I didn't know where to look. I felt powerless against my feelings. I didn't know answers existed. Feeling depressed is much like waking up in the morning and going into a nightmare instead of coming out from one. You start to realize how badly you feel when the only thing you look forward to throughout the day is when you can shut off and go back to sleep. The alarm clock goes off and you feel the massive, heavy, and terrifying sense of dread about facing the day. The nightmare is filled with so many awful experiences. It's like running in a dream to try to escape something only to look down and realize that you aren't moving at all. The effort becomes useless. Frustration builds. Despair sets in. You feel the stinging fear of constant failure because you have no idea what to do to feel better and to make the problem go away. I desperately wanted things to be different. I tried to find relief, but slowly, day after day, every effort to find relief was met with an even greater sense of darkness, isolation, and pain. I felt like no one understood me or what I was going through. Eventually, I began to somehow live with the pain. I pushed it down as far as I could because I knew that sharing it with others was only a heavy burden that no one seemed to know what to do anything about. I no longer wanted others to have to bear this burden for me, so I pretended. I pretended that life was okay. Other people asked how I was, and I mustered up a pretend smile and said, "I'm good." But the pretending actually becomes tiring, and I found myself utterly exhausted at the end of every day. What I carried around was so heavy and painful that the weight of carrying it sucked out all the life of me. Those around me who knew of my affliction didn't know how to help, even though they really wanted to. Eventually, I pushed people away in my life because I was hard to be around. People don't enjoy being around a lifeless, gloomy, and hopeless person, one who is trying so hard to just make it from one day to the next. Even my own father, who's an amazing human being and who has his doctorate in counseling, said one day to me in helpless frustration, "I want to help you so badly. I just don't know how." When the most capable person you know doesn't have the answer, the hopelessness further solidifies. Where are you going to find answers at this point? At first, I tried conventional treatments, including talk therapy and medications for hypothyroidism and depression and anxiety. While drugs can be necessary and do work for some people, ultimately they do not address the root causes of depression. Many people also see benefits from talk therapy, but the thousands of dollars that was spent on talk therapy personally didn't help me much. The drugs didn't make me feel much better either. I was still a wreck and things only got progressively worse. I read scores of books and talked to anyone who would listen to me. But over time, nothing changed my emotions. Nothing altered how I felt. Eventually, numbness set in. Numbness is a feeling that covers over all of the other feelings that you have. You just don't want to feel anything anymore, and a part of you just continues to die. Yet despite all this pain, light broke through and hope began to trickle back in. Does any of this story resonate with you or the experience of your loved ones? Here's the good news. The root causes of depression are known and treatments are available through natural means. Our medical model desperately needs to change. Depression is not a chemical imbalance that a pharmaceutical drug will solve if taken for the rest of life. Western medicine hasn't done well to address the true root physical or emotional causes of depression. It does not offer much treatment outside of keeping one dependent upon a pharmaceutical drug for the rest of life. As a result, people all over are starting to try things that fall outside of this paradigm of medicine. And it's working. This book is about the answers that I found to deal powerfully with the depression I felt. My mission in sharing this with the world is so that you or those you love can heal powerfully too. My recovery began when I went through Chinese medical school and started learning about the incredible wonders of Chinese medicine. Practitioners of Chinese medicine have been perfecting this healing system for thousands of years. Chinese medicine is one of the most sophisticated, brilliant, deep, and incredible systems of medicine this world has ever known. It is a completely natural system of medicine and was the only system of medicine that existed in China for thousands of years, successfully treating any and every health problem during this time in history. It addresses every level of health in the body, physical, energetic, and emotional. People have been depressed across all cultures and times for thousands of years. The answers contained in this medicine were just as valid then as they are now. Additionally, in my quest to feel better and obtain answers, I learned about other powerful tools which I will share with you that are helping thousands of people to heal today. If you struggle with depression, you are not alone, and things can be done immediately to help you feel better in a short period of time. Dealing with the root physical causes of depression may make a significant difference for you and be all that you need to heal. Medical science exists that points us not only in the direction of the true causes, but what can be done to powerfully heal. But depression for many is not just a physical problem. We are not just a physical body. We are so much more than that. Chinese medicine has proven treatments for the other non-physical parts of us too. For many, depression starts after going through a traumatic event. A traumatic event triggers a deep fear inside of us. The emotional scars left over from one or multiple events that begin to replay over and over again. This trauma is what perpetuated how depressed I felt every day. It is my firm belief that negative emotions are far more powerful causes of disease and health problems than anything in the physical world. Things such as diet, supplements, massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, exercise, and many other things are useful and necessary pathways that can help you to heal. These things have helped many people to heal from depression, and I would encourage you to pursue these options if you feel led to. My philosophy is that you should try anything to support healing that makes logical sense, is safe, and doesn't cost you a fortune. While others have written brilliantly about how to heal from the physical aspects of depression, this book is largely about how to heal negative emotions held within from past experiences that can manifest in our physical body, creating an ongoing experience of depression and anxiety. It's also about how learning to release those feelings can alter our reality instantly and make one feel better right now. My experience, both as a physician and a patient, reflects this, and after having tried everything, I had to walk through the tough road of entering straight into the deepest and darkest emotional parts of me. When I set the emotions free from these deep and dark places, I healed very quickly. This is a very different experience than simply talking about your feelings. Diving into our darkness is not the path that most people willingly choose. Many want the easy path to healing. Taking a pill will never release our negative emotions from the past experiences we have had. Walking this path has been the most difficult thing I've ever done. I wish that it was as easy as taking a pill and instantly healing. While opening to these parts of oneself may be extremely painful, I am quick to remind people that on the other side of surrender of our emotions is always love, joy, and inner peace. Inner peace and freedom can be yours with the courage to truly see yourself as you are and surrender what may be fueling the depression you experience. Depression is not your identity. It is not who you are. Anger is not your identity. Hopelessness is not your identity. Fear is not who you are. Apathy and giving up is not who you are. Your physical body is not your identity either. You may not feel this right now, but the reality is that you are strong, resilient, brave, and courageous. You have a universe of love, joy, and peace inside of you, waiting to be accessed and discovered. Love, not anger, fear, or hopelessness, defines who and what you are. I hope my journey of healing inspires you to heal and that you are able to experience the freedom that is already yours and is waiting to be uncovered from within. You can heal from depression, and here is how.